So let's get started with Dixie as usual. As you know, last week we had a very good rally on the USD, and Dixie did break for new highs. As you see, we did broke those highs here, but then we we saw some weakness on the US dollar on Friday, and as you see, we had this bearish candle last Friday. Yeah, so let's go down to the 4-hour and see what's going on. What I'm looking at right now is to see if this is a correction, because we actually do have a new high now, and what I want to see if we're gonna do a new low somewhere in this area here. Yeah, because we have this trend line that's been holding very well so far, and we also have this 100 moving average and the 200 moving average coming up from this area. If we measure also our if you take a Fibonacci retracement tool and measure this move, we are at the moment at the 0.618, and what I'll be looking at is somewhere in this area to see how price will react back down here. Yeah, near the trend line and near this structure here, that where I will be looking for maybe a bounce, because if you look at on the 4-hour, the RSI is getting oversold at the moment, and the 1-hour is really oversold, and it may give us a bounce from this level down here at around 101.25 area. Somewhere here should be a good retest area, maybe for another bounce to the upside, and then we will see if we get this bounce from here, we should be looking and see what will happen this time at this level again, because if this trend to continue, then we should break this structure and also break this high for the dollar to keep rallying up. Yeah, but short term, as you see, new high, we want to see a new higher low somewhere in this area. If we keep holding this trend line and we get a higher low, then of course we will be looking for more to the upside. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at on the Dixie for now. Yes, are we clear on this one, or is there any questions? Just as usual, guys, if you have any questions, just put them in the chart and let me know. Yeah, and I will try and answer that. So I will keep going with the list for now, and we go to gold. Let's go to the daily and see what's going on. And as you guys know, I was talking about this 200 moving average coming from the upside a couple of times in my earlier weekly overviews, and I also said that we may expect some reaction here, and the reaction was very strong to the downside when we did test the 200 moving average. As you see, we got rejected, and price did broke these highs here and went back in this range here, and as you see here on Friday, we found support at this level, and price got rejected back up. So if we go down to the 4-hour to see what is the situation, you can see that price did a test of the 200 moving average here, and got rejecting back up. So for now, short term, this uptrend is broken, and we have a lower low and a lower high and another lower low, and what I will be looking at on gold for now is to see if price gonna retest this structure up here and see how price action will react there. Yeah, for short term, this short-term trend is broken now, and we are not really clear on a real long-term direction yet, because this level is still holding for now, and for me to be more sure for short on gold, this level should be broken. So for next week I will be looking at this level and see how price will react, and if we got rejected, that will be very good place to short, and hopefully see if it's gonna break the lows this times. Because if we go back at the daily as a daily structure, we still have this was a higher high, higher low, another higher high, another higher low, and this was here our last higher high, and we didn't make a new lower low yet, and there is possibility that gold keep going up again. You never know, but it's for sure very good signals that there is some momentum shifting in the price, and next week gonna be very interesting, because as you know, there is a lots of news to be aware of, and we will see how we can how price will react. So keep your eyes on this level. If this level is got broken, then of course we have some structure to look at back up here. A retest of this area should be the ultimate place to try to short it another time. Yeah, that's what I have on gold for now. So nothing yet until next week, maybe Tuesday, to see how price went on Monday, if it will keep going up to retest or not. Let's see. I see a question from Nayan. Just a general question, Pierre. When you draw the supply and demand zone on your chart, do you only draw them on the time frames that you are trading, or do you follow top-down approach? Nayan, I do a top-down approach always. Start with weekly and back down to daily, and try to find the Z structure. As you see here on the daily, this structure is a very clear one. It was support back here, then it got broken, and we have this flip zone now where support is resistant, and same goes here. We have this structure on the daily, and there where I draw my support and resistant line, or supply and demand area. Yeah, but always start from weekly, or sometimes I go up to monthly also to try to find them. Yeah, and yeah, that right, you can just call them levels or zones. So it's not about just, as you see here, we have this line, but that don't mean that price have to exactly touch this line. Yeah, so you have to make some zones as this one here, and see how price will react when it reaches those levels. Yeah, so let's keep going. Oil, we are still having a bit of ugly trading chart on oil. As you see, price still ranging between the 51.30 area and 55.10. Lots of up and downs movement. If you are a new trader, you should be careful trading oil at this level, because as you see, it's lots of whipsaw all over the place. We have some on the lower time frame, some structures that the oil have been respecting, as you see, the 53.30 area and this 55 level here. We have sometimes good trades, but overall there is no clear trend, and it's a little bit hard to trade, so be careful with it. Short term you can try to trade those levels, but it's very hard, and you should be careful, because as you see here, there is no clear structure. Price go below a little bit and try to break, and then spike, and lots of squeezing and stop loss hunting. So for the moment I will leave oil alone, and I will not be trading it. Okay, so for now, if I would trade oil, I want to see a clear direction, maybe a break of this area, and see a more for the downside, or a break of this level to see a trend continuation to the upside. For now, this is very ugly, and for me nothing is interesting in this chart. So let's start with Forex, and I will start with the Aussie pairs. And as you know, guys, we've been following this pair for a long time now, and we finally saw this rejection and this down move that we've been waiting for, because when price was heading to these highs, we were talking about this major level that we should be waiting and see for how price will react. We have this trend line also now that is confirmed, because we have one touch here, 2 and 3 touch that got rejected, third touch got rejected, and we had this great move last Thursday, and looks like on Friday when we saw this US dollar weakness, that also Aussie found some support. We're still trading above the 100 and 200 moving average. So let's go down a time frame and see what's going on. So as you see, guys, price did find support at this level, and now it was heading up for a retest of a structure. And as you see, the RSI on the 4-hour was really oversold, and if you go down to the 1-hour, you see that we have this multiple touch or a triple bottom here, and the RSI was making higher highs. So this up move was already from this area up here. Let me show you what I mean. Where is my vertical line? As you see here, somewhere in this area, we had this divergence ongoing already from back here. We start to see divergence on the RSI, and after this third touch back down here, price start to start going up. Yeah, so this up move was a bit hard to know if to see if you don't use divergence, but those who looks a lot at divergence and RSI or any oscillator should may saw that move. Yeah, you're right. 2894 viewers. I don't know what name you have, but yeah, you're right about the oil there. Yeah, so for me to trade Aussie, I want to see how price will react at when we touch this area here, or back up here. Maybe a retest of this structure should be good, because the RSI did just start to go up now, and we have this as you see here, this structure also should, if price make it all the way up here, there is where I will be looking for more short, or if we already see at this level some reaction, yeah. But I will not be looking at that very early next week. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I will let it go for at least one full London session and one full New York session to see how things will go from there, yeah. Yes, the binary nerd. We will take a look on EURUSD also. Yeah, so Aussie, we have another place to look at, and that place on the daily, the level is 0.75 area back down here. This level gonna also be a good support level, as you see here, and we have both the 100 and 200 moving average at the same area. So if price to come down to retest this area next week, I will maybe be looking to see if we see if I see any bullish evidence back down here, to maybe try to take a reversal trade and trade it back up to this structure up here, yeah. So those are the levels I'm looking at for Aussie for the next week. Aussie New Zealand, I was I had a little bit of trouble with this pair last week, but then I changed my mind and did took a nice trade to the upside, but I was shorting it, and a little bit before it hit my stop loss, I changed my mind and reversed my position. And that's something that you should consider, guys, when you see a trade is not going your way. And there is no need to get married to any idea or any pair. If you see clear signals that you've been wrong, just close your trade. And if you see a clear signal to the upside, why not to try to reverse your position instead of just marrying the idea and keep going with it, yeah. So as you see on the Aussie, we did I'm gonna show you also the weekly. We did break these lows back here. All these lows are broken now, and we had a close above, and we had the week before we had this clear rejection, and that's why I was thinking that we may see a continuation to the downside, but we didn't get that. Price found support, and for the whole week we did get this huge engulfing candle, and I think we had lots of stop loss above this pin bar, because all the shorts should have stop losses somewhere in this area, yeah. And there is possibility for more stop loss pockets up here at this level. So if we reach that level, there will be a lots of even more to the upside. But let's go down to the daily and see. And as you see here, we also broke this high and close above, and we have a new higher high. This trend line is still holding, so Aussie is lots stronger than New Zealand at the moment. If we go down to the 4 hour, you see that we have the RSI is a bit oversold now, and to me this trend is still showing strength to the upside, and there's no idea to fight it. But if we go down to the 1 hour, you can see there is some possibility for price to start to go down, maybe for a correction before, if it will keep going up. Because as you see here, we had this on the hourly, we have a huge divergence on the RSI here, and we have this double top scenario. So a short-term trade, if you want to trade this to the downside, you may wait for if price will go back down and break this neckline, then you may take a short-term trade for a retest of this structure back down here maybe, or to the trend line. For me, I will be waiting for price to make a little more of correction and see if we're gonna break these lows and this structure, and if trend line will hold or not. Because if price really respect this 100 moving average again, as you see here, and back down here, the 100 moving average on the 4 hours was respected a couple of times. So I will be looking for a trend continuation maybe on this one, for another bounce to the upside, because all the evidence are for now are for the upside until we break back down, break this trend line maybe. And for to be really short, you have to see a break of these lows back down here. So for now, I have very hard to see that. So the trend is strong to the upside at the moment. So don't rush on anything on this one. As I said, there is a possibility for a very short-term trade on the 1 hour after, if this neckline got broken. Then I think we may have some continuation back down to the trend line. Yeah. Let me see. I see some text or maybe questions in the chat. Actually, the first few hours of Open New has a full coming from on. Yeah. No questions. Yeah. Do you consider wicks on the monthly, weekly time frame while drawing zones? Yeah, sometimes I consider them, sometimes I don't. What you can do, let me show you maybe some example if we find one. Let's see here. Of course, as you see, the wicks here and this stop here and this here, I would maybe put my zone somewhere to try to touch all of them, somewhere like this, and then I have some of the wicks also in this zone. It doesn't really matter how exact you are, because once again we are looking at zones, and it depends a little bit of which pair you're trading. Some pairs have lots of wicks all the time, as you see in this area. So if you had your let's say you had your support line somewhere up here, it don't mean that price gonna reach it. As you see here, price got rejected already back down here on the 100 moving average. Yeah, so once again, it is a zone. So when price is let's say in about 10 pips from that area, then you should start to looking for your price action and see if you get your signals. Yeah, I hope that answered your question, Naya. Aussie CAD, same scenario as Aussie New Zealand. We break for new highs on the daily, as you see here. We have this trend line is still holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches now. Price went back down, found support at this level here, and headed up again. I don't think that we should be thinking something else than long for the moment, because If we're gonna talk textbook structure, as you see, we're still doing higher highs and higher lows, and there is no reason to think something else than trend continuation for now, because all the signals are to the upside, and those move to the downside, as you see here, they have to happen because price need to correct. Yeah, it always do that. The moves was overextended, the RSI was oversold, and price need to go back down. I see here on the Aussie CAD, as you see, we did this leg up all the way up here, and then we corrected to 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, and I will be also looking for a possibility for an AB equals CD scenario here, because we have this leg, and if we project another leg from here, let me crunch the chart. As you see, the CD leg gonna complete back up at this level here, and if we take a Fibonacci extension of this move, if it happens, of course there's nothing sure that price gonna hit that level, but for me, I try to always be ready. And as you see, the Fibonacci extension is gonna also end somewhere in this area between the 1.27 and the 1.41, and that can be another confluence reason for maybe looking for a short from up here. That would be the ultimate place to look at to short this pair. At this level, I would actually short it blindly without lots of evidence, but because the level is very clear, as you see, this is very high, and to not get a spike as this one, so you maybe want to see a clear signal before you short it, but you can also, if you're a more aggressive trader, you can put your limit orders somewhere in this area, and the stop loss should be somewhere above this pin bar here. Yeah, so for this pair, I will be looking back up here at the at this area, 1.033 area up here, or if to go long, I want to see maybe a retest back down here, where if it give me a double bottom scenario and a divergence and on the RSI, and a rejection from this level, then I will maybe be looking for a long from here to at least a retest of these highs, and the ultimate level should be back up here. So that what I will be looking at for Aussie CAD for the next week. Yeah. Thank you, Binary Nerd. You could work for FX Street for that analyze. Yeah, they may call me soon. Okay, are we clear on Aussie CAD? CAD Jappy. Let's go to the daily. As we talked about this flag last week, guys, now we have a little bit ugly chart. I didn't want to see this break down here, but it did happen, but and it got rejected. As you see, it did a touch of the 100 daily moving average, one touch only, and got rejected back up back to this range and to this flag. I was watching last week this level, and when this happened, when price start to heading to this area, I was ready to see some bullish evidence, but as you see, the break was very strong to the downside, and that break was very strong to start to think that we're gonna see a bounce. But we did found this bounce back down here on the daily 100 moving average, and price went back up. Yeah, I didn't trade this nothing of this last week because I had very hard to trust the price movement. And what we have right now, we are back in the range, and I want to see a clear retest, and that price gonna get rejected again. For me to trust that this will keep going up, I want to see a break of this level on the 4-hour, yeah, before to try to trade it higher to this trend line, because this trend line is holding very well 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. So the best scenario should be if we didn't make this ugly break, but we have it now, and we should live with that. So for this pair, I want to see a clear retest and rejection, break of this high up here to then maybe I will consider trade it to the upside. Or if we go down to the 1-hour, try to see like this one, move to the upside, a strong move to the upside, a flag, and try to trade it the break of this flag. That should be also a good scenario, because right now, as you see on the 1-hour, it's a little bit hard to know where price is going. Yeah, we do have this ongoing divergence, as you see here. 1, 2, 3 tops, all three are higher, and we have actually a lower low on price. So that's good also, but that alone it's not enough. Yeah. So that what I have on this pair, and what I really want to see is a break of the flag and a continuation to the upside for the long term. As for now, we're still on this level, and we should be looking, as I said, if it holds, more to the upside. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. CAD Swiss. We are the price sitting on a very good level for the moment. Let me make this short a little more clear. As you see here, price is exactly on this support level here, and we have also the 200 moving average coming at the same level. So where price is right now is where I'm interested. We are on the daily, and the RSI is getting oversold, and this 200 moving average, the area is a good support area. As you see here, we got rejected very strong back here. So of course I will be looking how price will react here next week, because the daily is also oversold. If we go down to the 4-hour, you see that the RSI is also getting in an oversold territory. Also on the 4-hour, we have this strong divergence ongoing right now. Let me show you there, and as you see, we have a lower low on price, but we have a higher high on the RSI. Yeah, that is what's happened. So that show us that price is actually moving toward support, and may give us a bounce. Yeah. So what we should be looking at this level, if we go down to the 1-hour, the divergence also is ongoing on the 1-hour, as you see here. we're having higher highs on the RSI and lower lows on price. For now we got this bearish candle on the 1 hour, but this price movement here was on Friday closing, so nothing to trust when that happened. Sorry guys, just give me 1 second. I will try to reconnect for my screen because I can't see your chat. So yeah, it's not working, but I will maybe end this pair and try again. I have my alarm, as you see, back down here at this level, 75,161 area, where I will be looking next week how price will react, and I will try to find my entry reason, maybe see a rejection back down here. And as you see, price did a retest a little bit lower, so we may see a little break of this area back down here and retest back down here before we get any signals. Yeah. So rejection, and I will try to if I get any bullish evidence back down here, long to a retest of this of these highs up here should be good. Yeah. Let's see, just a moment. I will reconnect my other screen so I can see your chat, guys. Okay, here we go. And where is this? So, hello Lafayette, welcome. You're late today again. I'm gonna send a warning to your parents. Okay, next pair on the watch list. What is this doing down here? Okay, let's see. Sterling USD, we finally broke this level. Let's go to the daily, guys. As you see, we have a downtrend. It's very clear, and we are now back down below the 100 moving average. We broke it to the upside, and then price got flirting with it since yeah, since 27th of January, and price kept flirting with this 100 moving average until we did clear broke now to the downside. Let me show you the daily first. The RSI got a little near the oversold area, and did find some support back down here. So for this pair, what I will be looking at, because this structure was a very good structure, as you see here, we can if you want to count this as a fake out. So let's, if this was a fake out, then we have this structure here is more clear, as you see here, support, 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 fake out, and here it was a resistant level and a support level. So this is a major flip zone now, and price did go below, and now what we have is the price found support and start to going up. And the level I will be looking at is, of course, this level back up here, and try to take a trend continuation from this structure up here. Find if I find any evidence, bearish evidence, then of course short to a retest of this low here, or the major low back down here should be also a nice one. So Sterling USD, put your alarms. I will actually put my alarm, let's see, somewhere this area. I will put my alert at 1.2345 area to get an email when price if price reach that level. I will start looking for bearish evidence at that level, and maybe at that time the RSI gonna be a little bit higher and more to the oversold, overbought, and try to short it from up here. Yeah. And I have a bunch of euro pairs on my list, and you will notice why, because euro did a really good move against all the pairs, and some of them are getting to a very interesting area. Yeah. Excuse me 1 minute, 1 second. So let's go to the daily. Euro Aussie did let's take off this, make a little bit clear short. We are in a clear downtrend. We are below the trend line. We are below the 100 and 200 moving average, and the price reached a very low level as we talked about it last week. If we go to the weekly, you see that we are in a very good area where we should be looking for a long, and we did talk about this level, and I said that we should be only looking for a long from back down here. So on the daily, price did go all the way down, make a squeeze of many shorters that took this break of this level, and lots of bears were trapped in here, and then it found support and start going up, and as you see now on the daily, we have these two very strong days, and if we go to the 4 hour, the move looks very, very strong to the upside. The RSI is an oversold. We had this head and shoulders trade, as you see here, that went very, very good. We was talking about this neckline, that it should be broken before price to keep continuing. So what I'm looking at, the best level to look at on this pair for me is actually back up here, the 1.41 ish area. If price really make it back up here, even though it's oversold on the 4 hour, but if we go to the daily, you see that we have a little bit more room to go for the upside. I will be looking at this level to try to take a trend continuation or another bounce to the downside. If you want to trade this to the upside, you should be waiting for a retest of this neckline and try to find your bullish evidence back down here for another retest. For now, and back again to the daily, we still have lower lows and lower highs. This may be our last low, but no one can know for sure. So this structure back up here should be respected. Price gonna have some trouble back up here. If the traders that want to trade a trend continuation should be sure looking for a short from back up here to try to push back the price back down. I'm very sure that we have some, or if not all, the bulls somewhere in this area, because the 100 moving average is also heading down, and as you see, we've been trading between the 100 and 200 moving average here. One time here, another time, and here too. So there is a possibility that price retest this trend line or this area between those two moving average, and give us another bounce to the downside. Yeah, before this trend line and this structure up here is broken and retested for a continuation, before that happen, you should be only looking for a short on this pair, in my opinion. Yeah, because the best way is to trade with the trend, of course. Yeah. EuroCAD, same scenario, same situation, very low price level. Let's go to the weekly, and as you see here, we did break the 200 moving average back down, and we had this ugly range here for since November last year. We had this where price been ranging up and down. I was not trading a lot in this area. I don't like how price action were acting there, but we do have this trend line that is respected now too, and this is the third time this trend line is respected. As you see, this is the weekly, guys. If we go down to the daily, you see that we did actually broke these lows back up here, and now found support. We price came down and gave us a bounce up, and then gave us this double bottom scenario, and we had a clear divergence on the RSI, as you see here. The price was on an equal level, but the RSI was a much higher bottom, so that should be our first signal that price may reverse from this area, and it did actually reverse. And when it broke this neckline, as you see here, the double bottom neckline, price gained momentum and did a very good rally to the upside. Now price is heading toward this area. We have this 100 moving average and the 200 moving average, both as coming from the upside, and I will be looking for this level to try to find a shorting opportunity on this pair. Yeah, because if you look at the RSI, the daily is heading toward the oversold area, and when this happened, as you see here, when this happened here and back down here and back down here, every time the price on the daily on the oversold, we have some rejection to the downside. Let's go down to the 4 hour and see what's going on. On the 4 hour, guys, you see this major move here from, as you see, this low and this high, sorry, and this higher high. But on the RSI, what do we have? We have a higher high here and a little bit lower high on the RSI. So we have a clear divergence. We have this, let me show you, this is a supply zone. As you see, it's very clear. Price went down, went back up, and gave us this huge move here. So the supply area is somewhere here when we have this this whole rally to the downside started here. So keep your eyes on this level. When price hit to 1.42 area, start looking for maybe a bearish evidence to try to short it from that level, if price make it all the way up here. Yeah, that is the level where I will be looking at, and I will put my alarm below, just below this neckline here. I will put an alert. There you go. So the RSI is oversold on the 4 hour. It's heading to the oversold on the daily, and on the 1 hour it's also very extended, and we have divergence on the 1 hour too. So that is a good level to start looking for a bounce to the downside, maybe on this pair. Yeah. Euro sterling price is exactly on resistance at the moment, and the move was very clear and strong to the upside. Almost the whole week was to the upside, and we've been talking about how this 200 moving average is heading up and they're getting closer and closer. We did a little bit break, but price didn't find more momentum. I was looking for this structure last week to try to go long from back down here, but price did found support much earlier. And for next week, you should be looking how price will react at this level. Yeah, because we have a hidden divergence ongoing. As you see, this high and this high are equal, but the RSI is much higher, and there you have a hidden divergence which give you sorry, this high to this high. We're talking about this high. Yeah. When you have a hidden divergence, that can be also a signal that price is heading toward an end and maybe a reversal. But once again, that's alone, it's not enough. So watch how our price will act next week. Here the move to the upside is a very strong still, and there is nothing that's tell us that price gonna go down yet. The only thing we have is this hidden divergence on the daily. Yeah. So what's happening here now, that we as you see here on the 1 hour, this major divergence is another signal that we may see some bounce to the downside. Hi Pierre, this is RSI 14. No, my RSI is on 7, Nayan. I use the 7, but there is nothing magical with that. You can go with 14. The standard also should work the same. Yeah, but for some reason I like the 7 more. But yeah, once again, there is nothing magical about that. So as you see, guys, we have this little double top scenario here. We have a huge divergence on the RSI. It's a clear signal that price is maybe losing some momentum. To be sure, you want to see a break of this neckline. Where is my line? Somewhere here, or if you use the close of the candles, it works too. Look for if you're a more conservative trader, you want to see a break of the neckline, maybe a retest on the 1 hour, and try a short at least to retest this low back down here, or if it's gonna go even more. Yeah. Aggressive entry is of course at this level from the start, and try to short it from this level. I wouldn't do that for now, because the higher time frame is very strong to the upside, but of course price is overbought and we have those clear divergence. So we should be looking and watching this level next week. Gonna be maybe early next week. Don't be surprised if you got something like this, what's happened back down here, sorry, back up here, as you see. So don't rush on Monday as soon as you see that price is heading down a little bit. That's it happens all the time, that price go down a little bit and go up, especially as when we are at a level like this one, guys. It's a very clear structure here, and it's gonna be a crowded level. As you see here, let me show you this whole area. Price went to this level, got bounced up, went tested again, bounced up, and then broke it, and then it started to get resistant already from here 2, 3, 4, 5 times also. So this trade is very crowded, and there is lots of bears that want to short this, and market makers gonna surely not sure, but you know, it can happen that you get a spike up, a stop loss hunt, and bam, back down. Yeah, of course, if it will bounce back down, or you wait to see a break, a clear break, a retest, at least on the 4 hour, a retest, a failure, and more to the upside. That should be also possible if trade will this trend will continue to the upside. So be careful, it's a very crowded area, and there should be some stop loss hunting. No, I didn't talk about USD CAD yet. We're coming there too. Euro JAPY, also on exactly on resistance. Let's go to the daily. As you see, guys, price were ranging at this area up here. It got broken, retested, it broke down another time to a lower level where we had the 50 Fibonacci retracement of this whole move, and it found support near the 200 moving average and went back up above the 100 moving average. So for now, that's look good for more long, but of course we have this support, went to resistant area that we should be watching very carefully next week, and that level is exactly where price is right now. The 1-to-1 area is the structure we should be looking at. We have also this major trend line coming from back up here that was respected many times up here. Yeah, so I will not be surprised if we break this level here, that price may find some trouble to this trend line. So for next week, let's go down to the 4 hour and see. You see the structure, it's much more clear at this time frame. As you see here, support, 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 broken, and now it's resistance too many times here, and price is exactly at this level at the moment. It made this head and shoulder, broke it, and kept going up. And for now, we have an oversold overbought of RSI, and on the 1 hour, I think it is also screaming overbought, and there is a little bit of divergence, as you see back up here. Where is the line? As you see here, we're a little bit divergence to the downside, and price is making higher highs. So the level to look at is exactly where we are right now. Wait for if you want to go short, for a signal to the downside, if you want to see a pin bar or a double top, head and shoulders, depend on how you what your entry trigger is. Yeah, but don't forget, guys, the up move was very, very strong, and you should be careful trading this to the downside already. So wait for a clear signal before you short this one. Yeah, use as many filters as you can, because it looks possible that it's gonna break this level and maybe a retest of this trend line. You never know, but this structure is where you should be looking at next week. Yeah. Euro New Zealand, we actually have also same scenario. Let's go to the daily. As I said before, all the euro pairs is very interesting. This one though is at let's go to, we have the weekly now. As you see here, it's a very low level, so this one we should only be looking for long from here, even though the trend is very strong to the downside. But this level is, we have a cheap price back down here, and we had this rejection at this level, and this is a weekly, a really strong weekly bar we've got there. So but it got oversold very fast on the daily, as you see here. So it is oversold exactly at this structure here, and this structure may act another time as resistant, because it did act as resistance many times back here, as you see. Lots of tests at this area. The 100 moving average was acting as dynamic resistance also, but last Friday it got broken. But we have the 200 moving average is heading also down, and price may be reached very soon. So what to look at for next week, if price gonna retest this area where we have the 200 moving average, we have this major resistance also, and go down for 4 hour or 1 hour to as you see, the 4 hour move is crazy to the upside, and we are heading to this structure up here now. Yeah, so we should be looking for a possible bounce down at this somewhere in this area where price is right now. If we go down to the 1 hour, you see more clear divergence. So this one is, I think for me, this one is the most interesting pair for to try to short another bounce to the downside, short-term trade. Yeah, because the divergence on the RSI is very clear, and it's been doing that since price was back down here. Look at this huge move to the upside, and the RSI kept diverging to the downside. So wait for the RSI to maybe go below 80 or 75. Wait for a clear signal to the downside, maybe a double top or head and shoulders, and try to take a short-term trend to the downside, because the daily 4 hour, 1 hour, all of them are extended and overbought right now, and we are heading to to a very good resistant level. Yeah. But then if it goes back down all the way, then you should be try to see how price will react. We now break this trend line, and what we want to see is a retest of this trend line or this neckline, and try to go long, because if price breaks this level, especially if we break the 200 moving average on the daily too, then we will broke this area here, and by then you have a new higher high, and that will be the start of a very good trend to the upside, I hope, because this is a trade that you don't want to miss. Price is very low here, and keeping a small position for a long time after a break of this level should be a very good profit for you. And the last but not the least, Euro USD. Euro USD, as I mentioned in our last week, guys, we were talking about this yearly level that we should be looking at a bounce to the upside, and we really got a very good bounce, but at the first it looks a little bit hard traded, but then the move was very fast and clear after the speech of Miss Yellen. And as you see, the same here. If we go to the weekly, we are in a good low level. Price been there, tested this at 2003 as support, and the last time price was below was between 99 and 2003. Yeah, so as you see, this was the only time price was below this structure here. So of course it's a very good level where we are at the moment, and it shouldn't break, because if this break, then there is a lots strong move to the downside. Anyway, we go back to the daily. If we're gonna talk daily structure, guys, it's very clear that the price is this trend is to the downside, and as you see, we are still trading below the 100 and the 200 moving average that been acting as resistant back up here, respected, and this touch here, and we may see another bounce back up here. So for now, what I'll be looking at on this pair, let's go down to the 4-hour. As you see here, we got rejected 2 times, very strong here. We had this double top or triple top, if you want to count this one too, and price got rejected down, and of course we got this double bottom down here, and divergence, and after or under the Yellen speech, price just rallied back up. So we have some structure to look at for this pair. The first structure is this area back up here, the 1.064 area, that you should maybe look how price will react, because we are on the RSI getting oversold. The 1 hour is more ugly. As you see here, we got this flag, and price just went like a rocket from here, but we have very clear divergence also on this one. The RSI a little bit slightly lower, but price is crazy much higher from this top, as you see, from this top to this top, and but on the RSI almost equal high or a little bit lower. Yeah, so what we should be looking at is for next week is if we're gonna break this double top here or not at first. This is the first area I should be looking at and see how price will react. My alert will be at this level too, because I will watch and see how price will react. We maybe get another double top, or if we're gonna break it or not. I have very strong feeling that this area gonna act so as resistant again. But when you look at this move at the moment, you got a little bit scared. Yeah, it's a very strong move to the upside, but it's not the first time we have a strong move that just stopped like it hit a wall. Yeah, nothing changed in the downtrend yet. If we're gonna go back to the daily, you see this was our last low, and now we got maybe a higher at a higher low. Yeah, so this is first structure we should be looking at. Second thing to look at, how price will react at this trend line, and of course if we reach to this top back up here again, then that will be another opportunity to the downside. So very unclear how this will go, especially with lots of news for next week all we can do is take one step at the time. Watch out for this level, see how price will react, if it's gonna bounce back down, because if this trend to continue up, it should and have to maybe do a correction back down, at least to retest of this neckline here before it keep going up. Yeah, so there is short terms the opportunity trades, because back down to the 1 hour the move is very extended. If we take a Fibonacci extension for this leg, as you see here, we are now heading to the 1.618, and that should be a good level to watch, so that you have the confluence. So look at this level and see how price will react. You may get a bounce to the downside before this pair. If it's gonna keep going up, it may bounce back down first. Okay, is there a trend line break and retest on the monthly on the Euro USD? Oh, that's good, Chaka, that you took that trade. I'm happy for you, man. It was a very good move. Let's see, I have a question from Nayan. Is there a trend line break and retest on the monthly on the Euro USD? Let's go to the monthly. I'm not sure which trend line break you're talking about, Nayan, on the monthly. I can't see a trend line break on this one or a retest. Please, you can you explain your question again? I don't. I just used to use the RSI. I did try stochastic, but for some reason I just stuck to the RSI. There's actually no big difference. Both are oscillators, so there is no really good reason. Yeah. Let's see, Nayan still asking about the monthly, and I'm gonna zoom it. Nayan, I have very hard to see what we're talking, which trend line we're talking about here. Sorry, I can't see any trend line break and retest on the monthly on this chart where price is right now. I can see that. I can't see that. Sorry. I maybe can explain it to you, or you can send me a message on Facebook and we can discuss that. Yeah. So let's keep going. So this don't take another couple of hours. Will you be looking at USD JAPY? Of course, we will look at USD JAPY. We have 4 pairs left on the list, and USD JAPY is the last one. New Zealand JAPY, as you see, guys, if you go to the daily, we did last week on Friday, we did break this structure there where I was expecting a bounce to the upside. It didn't happen. We had this bounce Tuesday, Wednesday, but no continuation momentum. No continuation. We start going back down. And I'm sure that this break to the downside, lots of it was because of stop loss that got triggered here, because those who went long on this candle or this one, they had surely stop loss somewhere in this area. And if we go down to the 4 hour, as you see, those who went long here on this double bottom, they had stop loss somewhere below this area, and that helped price to keep going down. Yeah, so for now this structure is broken, and RSI got oversold and it found some support, and price is hovering. This is the 4 hour back down here, we do have this little structure here, as you see, this pin bar and this structure that may why price is holding. And if we crunch this chart a little bit more, there is hard to see something else. Let's go to the daily and try to find what's going on and why price. As you see here, there is not a lot of structure to look at. So what we have to work with this structure back down. This pin bar here is the only thing, and the 100 moving average on the daily. So for now, we have a new lower low and a new lower high. Everything on from this this whole move is a downtrend move, as you see. Yes, lower low, lower high, another lower low, another lower high, and now this was our last lower low. So for next week, we should be looking at how price will react in this area. It looks like it's keep going down, but we have this clear divergence on the hourly RSI. As you see, the RSI is going up and price was heading to the downside. Yeah, so what we should be looking at is if price to go back up here and see if price will do this retest. You should be looking at this area at the 80.60 area and see how price will react. If it's gonna find resistance and keep going down from back up here, yeah, or a retest of maybe another bounce to the trend line or this 100 moving average. As for now, you should only looking for short on this one, because the next trouble area should come back down at the 79.40 area, back down here. Yeah, this level we have some structure, and that may act as support. And as you see, this pair been giving very good opportunities, been doing these flags all the way, as you see this one, and you should be looking maybe for another flag and break and more to the downside until we see some bullish evidence. We should be only looking for short, because when I will be looking for more long, I want to see a break of this trend line, a higher high, a retest of structure, and more to the upside. Other than that, it's only short from here until we get back up to this trending area. Yeah, the daily is not really oversold, but we're heading there, and we have this 100 moving average may act also as a dynamic support. Look for it too, but next week look at this level or a retest of this trend line. If the RSI is overbought also when price hit this, try to find an entry reason for another short leg, another leg to the downside. Yeah. New Zealand USD, very strong move to the downside last week, as you see here. When price did break this structure, it kept going down and closed below both the 100 and the 200 moving averages. On the 4 hour, sorry, let's see, on the daily also we have this RSI is oversold, and some hidden diversions at the moment, as you see here. This low is much lower than this on the RSI, so and price did found support at this structure up here, and we got this pin bar back down here on the daily. On the 4-hour, as you see, the RSI was oversold and went back to 35 level. If you are a reversal trader, you should be looking for a break of, let's go to the 1-hour. A reversal trader should be looking for a break of this neckline here. What you want to see is this break, a clear break of this neckline, maybe a retest, and maybe to try to long to a retest of this first trouble area should be this neckline here, and the second one is somewhere if price make it that high. Yeah, so reversal trader, wait for a break of this trend line and find your entries, and for maybe a bounce back up. If we go back to the 4-hour, you see that if you're gonna take a trend continuation here, you should be looking if price gonna retest back up here and find an entry reason for more to the downside back to the structure, because this is the level I will be looking at where I think there should be some trouble for price to break it. Okay, USD CAD, crazy move, and this pair wasn't easy traded for many traders, and for almost this whole 1.5 year, this pair was ranging and making this correction move after this impulsive move to the downside. Yeah, so what I said last week, that we should be looking for long until this structure broken from where price was somewhere here. We were talking about how ugly the structure is getting back down here, because as you see there was lots of indecision and whipsaw, and it was very hard traded. And finally price did make this huge move to the upside, and now as many USD pairs got found rejection on Friday, and we got this pin bar. But let's don't forget that we have a higher close and higher high, higher than this high here. So the textbook said that the trend is clear to the upside. Yeah, but this very strong move is overbought now, and we maybe want to see at least a correction to the downside, and that's why I understand all of you that want to short this pair. And on the 4-hour we have this engulfing candle to the downside. We have RSI been doing really good divergence and went back down below the 75 area, but to be sure that this pair gonna trade to the downside, you have to see a break of this level, so don't rush on it. It's a very strong move to the upside, and you shouldn't be trading against the trend. But a reversal trader, of course, you will be looking for more to the downside from up here. But add on some filters. Let's say that you maybe want to trade this to the downside when it break the 20 moving average. Yeah, because that should be a good filter for you. To be sure, put the 20 moving average on the 4-hour, wait for price to break the moving average with a candle with good momentum, not just a little bit close below it, but maybe 10 pips or so below the 20 moving average, and then you enter on the next market candle. Yeah, because if price break this structure, the next trouble area should be back down here. Yeah, and that would be also a good correction move, because if we take a Fibonacci, let's take it from this whole leg. Somewhere back down here we have this 50 moving average and 61.8, so that shouldn't be strange to see a price do a correction back down here, but because this strong move to the upside that show very strength in this up momentum, so you should be careful even though you have this engulfing candle back up here. Wait for the break of this structure and the trend line before entering for more short, yeah, because of course it is overbought, and I know why everyone is looking for shorting. And if we go look left here, as you see, we have this supply area back up here that started this whole move to the downside. The move started from back up here. No, as you see here, when price did touch this supply zone, it started to heading down. But yeah, put some filters on because we have new highs, and when we have new highs, that make me very cautious before trending against such a trend, yeah. And last pair on the list is USD JAPY. It's a little bit cluttered chart, but when we go down to the lower time frame, you're gonna see why. If we look at the daily, we are still trading in this range, and price did found resistant when it hit this trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches now on this trend line. And if we go down to the 4-hour, as those of you who watch my last week's webinar, I've been talking about this AB equals CD leg, and as you see here, it did work very well when price reached this area back down here. We got this major move to the upside, and what we have now, this double top that happened on last Friday, as you see, and here is a double top, and we had this divergence on the RSI. The neckline is broken now, and we should see more of this correction to the downside. And what I'm looking at is how price will react when it reach this green box down here, the 113.50 area. I want to see if price gonna find support and maybe bounce back up, because this move is already done. If we go down to the 1 hour, as you see here, we starting to see the RSI is heading to the oversold area on the 1 hour, yeah. This last 1 hour candle is maybe a profit taking from those who did short from up here, yeah. Many traders close before weekend, and those who took this trade to the downside maybe made this candle by closing position, and by closing a sell position, as you know, you have to buy back, and that maybe was a profit taking candle only. So for a trend continuation, I will be looking for how price will react at this level at first. If not, if it really do a retest back up here, then I will be looking at this level back up here for a bearish evidence for another bounce to the downside from up here, yeah. From this level, the 114.50, because as you see, as far as this trend line is still holding, I will be looking for to try to short it from if price go back up here before a retest down here. But it looks like this correction is may happen before a retest to the upside. So for you who want or think that we have a new high higher than this high now, and you want to trade a trend continuation, look at this area back down here and see how our price will react. Yeah, that was all, guys. Do you have any of you have any questions before we call it a day? Of course, I want to thank all of you to being here with me today. Don't forget to, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to my channel to get notifications. And I do publish some videos from time to time and put some tutorials about how I trade and many good tips and ideas. So do subscribe to my channel. Please give some thumbs ups for the video, and feel free to share it on social medias so everyone get the benefit of this. Yeah, I don't see any questions, so thank you very much, and trade safe, keep it simple, and don't risk a lot. See you out there, guys. Bye bye.